My name is Lucinda Douglas. My company is called Lucinda Douglas. I have a few people that are working in the company as well. And what I do is I coach women to the top of their capacities and capabilities. And I do that in multinationals and outside. And I'm the most frequent asked empowerment speaker of the Benelux. Being myself, staying close to myself, never neglecting myself, putting myself on a very high place in my own life, and making choices and daring to make the choices that can be really challenging sometimes. Those. I don't know if I haven't been like that all the time. I think there was a time that I lost it, but I think I'd always had it. I was born in South Africa in 1970, right in the middle of Apartheid. And in this country that was very unstable, there were lots and lots of sexual violence. It is a country at the moment that the UN says is the most unsafe place for women to be, because there are 135 rapes every day. And as far as the UN is concerned, there is an enormous problem. And it was always like that in my time as well. And then by the time I was 16, I was part of a civil war, which meant that I couldn't go to school because the schools were closed for people with my color. I'm colored. And so there was always things happening in my life. There were always complete dramatic issues happening, and I'd never experienced them as dramatic. It was just life to me. So I'd always had to make choices because I was either going to live or going to die. Those were the choices. And it's great because I'd never had the opportunity to look at trivial things like, is this life? Is this survival? Is this what I want? Those questions never came into my process at all. So by the time I was, I'm doing the real run now, right? So by the time I was 22, I moved to France because my sister lived there. And by the time I was 23, I moved to Holland because my money was up when I was in France. And I worked here, and I think because I come from a totally different culture, I had an enormous tenacity and a will to get everything out of life that was possible, because that was a possibility I didn't have. I couldn't go to the university that I wanted to because I had the wrong color. And that was great because yet I came into a world where I could be anything I wanted to be. I could achieve everything. And then I got into a marriage that was due to everything that I had experienced up to then. It was a dramatic marriage because I had come from a dramatic background and I didn't know that. And we were married for a few years, and then I decided to get divorced, and he committed suicide, which gave me another wake-up call, but gave me another chance as well. And when you are so confronted with your immortality, I think that it changes everything in life, because that's the moment that you become very, well, I don't know, it's a moment of reflection, gives you a second chance. All these elements came above, and I had actually had the chance. And then what I did was I worked for a multinational, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. But there was a certain time of 10 years that I said, is this it? Is this it? I mean, this can't be it. And then I decided to start for myself. And because I'd always had the capability of looking at things in a different way because of my background, and I'm very positive, and I'm a complete survivor. It actually made things very easy for me. But it's not easy because there's lots of challenges, personal challenges that you have to conquer all the time. And I've done amazing things. I've been the commercial director of corporates. But I always did it with a lot of closeness to myself. And the last function I had was international function as well. And then I decided after a year to stop, because I realized one thing: I couldn't go about with this power that I had. It was too much, and I knew that there were 3 of us on the board, the others couldn't handle it either. The only thing is they were men, and they were supposed to do this. And I said, well, here's my key. I said, thank you very much, I'm leaving, I don't want this anymore. This power is manipulative, it's not bringing out the best in me, I'm gone. And then I started for myself. I think superheroes they serve. I think superheroes love people. I think superheroes are compassionate. I think superheroes connect with people in a very deep and trustworthy and loyal way. I think superheroes are honest and very frank and are always the mirror for people on the opposite side. And of course, I'm very frank, but with love. And that is when people start growing. And I think that's what makes superheroes, when other people can grow.
Can you give a tip how somebody can become a superhero?
Wow, superhero. I mean, that sounds really cool, right? Well, the prerequisite is that you stay close to yourself. And that is something that you have to really discover, that you do things that suit you, that fit you, that live with you, and that you follow your own path as well. And that you are not affected by what happens around you. When you have decided to follow your own path, follow that path. And never, don't be displayed or dismayed or distracted by what happens. Start believing in what you believe, even if you can't see it, but things that you believe in. Mm-hmm. And well, you know, I'm a practicing Christian, and I find that amazing, because there I have the responsibility of compassion, of loving people, of caring for them, and that is part of the superhero-ness, I think.